When a woman gets in trouble, everyone throws it down. Looking for good friends, no one can be found. You better come on in my kitchen. Lord, it's going to be raining outdoors. Come on in my kitchen. Old Robert Johnson song, probably just an old Delta Blues song. Amber Heard. Here's the thing that bugs me about the Amber Heard case is that, like, you get people like the Republican Party who've clearly demonstrated that they are a bunch of like racist, misogynist, discriminatory fascists, you know, who are archaic of the last century, you know, and who are just take every opportunity and have demonstrated that they are like this and take every opportunity to just amplify hatred, amplify all the horrible things about society and people in general. When there's a different girl who is different because she's trans or has a drug problem or something like that, even women turn on women rapidly. Our whole society turns on women rapidly. Now, am I saying that is she innocent? No. I don't know. Right? I don't know that she is. I don't know that she isn't. I don't know that Johnny Depp is. I don't know that he isn't. Right? I just know what I know, and I know the history about things. Even if you are intimately familiar with this case because you've been watching it moment by moment, you still don't know. I'm more of the opinion of guilty until proven innocent. But the truth is that even after the case, none of us will know. None of us will really know. I've been in situations before in toxic relationships that were abusive, and I stuck around. Right? Why? Because I wanted it to work. You know, if you type in Ben Shapiro, right, the first thing that's going to come up is the Amber Heard case. I think it's absolutely deplorable for a guy who's proven that he's a misogynist to get up there and capitalize upon Amber Heard, discredit her acting, discredit anything that she says. You know, why would you jump in on beating somebody down, you know, in a situation where you don't really know? You are not the judge and you are not the jury. You are not the data. Right? Why would you jump in, you know, and help like just propagate more misogyny? You know, one thing I do know about Johnny Depp, and I did a vlog about this a long time ago, and I don't care if people don't believe me. He hangs around with, he's good friends with Marilyn Manson. Apparently Marilyn Manson said that they're married. I don't know what the scoop is on that. But I was trying to record tracks to utilize to do like a drum and bass rock band type thing. The Heaven Upside Down album, all of those bass lines, all of those riffs, they're mine. He stole them from me and he made an album out of it. Johnny Depp played parts in two of those videos that got him famous on that album. And one of them was about invading the privacy of some woman and spying on her. And then it ending in a big like foursome or something. One of the premises about the album is that like I was talking to my mother and I was like, perhaps I'm of like a genetic anomaly of some sort, and that like because I have heterochromia, so my DNA may be of kind of like some parts of it are not aligned in the normal fashion because it may have been like sometimes in first pregnancy there's twins is often common, or fraternal twins. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a genealogist, or I don't study DNA. I don't know. It was just a theory I proposed to my mother. But that's kind of represented in the album. If you know my playing at all, and nobody really knows my playing because I'm not famous, you will hear my riffs all over that album. But he was also a wife abuser. And abused numerous women. His bassist, Twiggy Ramez, he was convicted of rape, right? Another thing that's very prevalent here too is that people who have really, really bad drug addictions, to things like alcohol, there's a certain point in the progression of the addiction where you become incredibly violent because your brain is melting. So who am I? My advice is that you just don't compound problems, right? I don't know Amber Heard. I don't know Johnny Depp, right? Who am I to play judge and jury? But I can tell you, like whenever there's a woman who's going through something or going different, and I know because I've been through it, she will get henpecked, focused upon, ostracized, and it will always be her fault. I know this from experience. In things of like domestic violence, it is always, okay, he beat her, but we say really ignorant things like, well, she drove him to it. But I think it's absolutely deplorable that someone like Ben Shapiro, who was literally just like the right-hand man of the Republican leader in Florida, pushing this very typical misogyny in a situation where very typically, it's the woman, right, who is stuck in a bad position. That is typically the case. Are there women out there who will? I think I'm allergic to makeup. Are there women out there who will play the victim or utilize the system? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's also men who do it. But do women get away with it better? Typically, right, in such a situation, right, it's usually the woman, who is the one who is under threat, not the man in heterosexual relationships. Typically. It's usually the man, and typically, again, there's usually drugs involved, who's instilling fear in the woman. It's very rare that you have a woman who will be like, you do this again, I will beat you, I will terrorize you, I will rape you, right? And another thing too, in my experience, when you're in these toxic, abusive relationships, your head goes through a bit of a blender, right? You don't start thinking the way that you should be thinking. A normal person would say, okay, I just need to back away and walk away from this person. But I've been in those situations where I've literally been, telling, the guy that I was with that like, no, you need consent. You need to consent, in relation to things like sex, right? And dealing with all this mental abuse on top of it. It never became, I guess rape is physical. That was something else that I dealt with, right? Rape, psychological abuse, but not, but I was never beaten, right? It never came to the point where I was beaten or I was terrorized or any of those type of extremes. Raped? Yes. Was I put into the hospital? No. I actually talked to somebody about it and they were like, I don't know. It's gone but not gone. I was listening to a neighbor once, and I had to call the cops 11 times. 11 times. Because this guy was beating her. It sounded like somebody was throwing her on a microwave over and over and over again. There was one point where I think I heard her head bang off the tub, and then silence. And then like suddenly screaming. So my assumption is that she was concussed. Right? I'm not trying to say that one is innocent, the other one is guilty, or what have you. I'm just presenting a level of logic to the situation. Right? I'm just pointing out the obvious aspect that, like, you know, we just do this to women in general. We are a misogynist society. Even women turn on women in these situations. You know, and at this point it's like Angelina Jolie is apparently, other people are saying Angelina Jolie is talking bad about Amber Heard. You know, the Rachel, the one who was Manson's wife, you know, she was, everyone was doing the same thing. Oh, she's lying. You know, all these situations, you know, Aquaman apparently says he does not like her. You know, there was, I don't know, somebody said Elon Musk said this or that or something. Like our entire society is having a field trip with this, right? But I'm just trying to, like, put some things into perspective. Like, one, no one knows. Two, nobody may know what the actual situation is, right? Three, usually in these situations, it's the guy that has more power. Even things like business and money, and I mean, Johnny Depp is far more famous than Amber Heard, so things like, you know, fame in terms of like getting like contracts and stuff also revolve around Johnny Depp, you know. And four, when it comes to like drug abuse and alcoholism, especially alcoholism, you know, there becomes a state where the person becomes very aggressive, right? You know, is she maybe the biggest bully in the relationship? Maybe. Usually in these toxic, I don't know their relationship. I'm just hearing it like everybody else over the internet. Usually in these situations, maybe sometimes one is antagonizing the other is acting violent. There's kind of this toxicity going on in the relationship or stuff like that, right? But I just think it's really, really deplorable that we're jumping all over Amber Heard in a situation of domestic abuse. You know, in my experience too, with having called the cops on this situation I was listening to of domestic abuse, you know, it was over and over and over again. I kept hearing from different people, oh, well, she's not in her right mind, or she's antagonizing him, or just all of this shit, right? All of this jazz that is like, does not excuse throwing somebody around like a microwave. Who abused who? Who is more guilty, more innocent, or whatnot? It's not my role to judge, nor is it your role to judge. You know, nor is it someone like the Republican Party, you know, utilizing this situation to villainize typically the victim in such a situation, you know, from a very misogynist standpoint, and discredit her on all levels. Right? Even so much solely is going down to, I don't think those are real tears, girl. I don't think those are real tears. Pathetic. Right? Pathetic. These are the type of people that you're watching